welcome to a brand new edition or episode of Artistry Live, the official Afrobeats podcast, where we break down some of the headlines and hot topics across the culture. In the studio with a couple of my celebrity guests. You know, we do this every single week. You can catch it on television here in the UK, Yanga TV, on Sky 186 and Freeview 171 on Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. and on Mondays, a repeat at 7 p.m. And you can catch it on social media, YouTube, and across all digital platforms. Make sure you share, subscribe, like, comment. We appreciate the support that we're getting. As always, like I said, I'm joined in the studio by special guests. But before we go to my special guest, I'd like to talk about a special partnership, which is with Shoobs.com. And Shoobs is a leading discovery hub for Black culture experiences, bringing you the latest events, music, and news. With Shoobs, you can discover and buy tickets to the best events happening in your city to satisfy your every need. If you're on a hunt for bottomless brunches, the latest Afrobeats concerts, or just a banging night out, which talent is, Shoobs has you covered. Shoobs is at the center of all experiences, whether you're an event organizer looking to sell out your event or looking for the perfect event to attend. Visit Shoobs.com and get Shoobs in. Now, to introduce my guest in the studio, my far right is a returnee, a commentator, Afrobeats enthusiast, Afropop culture enthusiast, media producer, the all-round guy. Is Damola, a.k.a. Mr. Schmooze. Welcome, my brother.
Thank you for having me.
And in the middle is another friend of mine, a colleague, an industry colleague, a presenter, a host, a broadcaster, a dancer, a choreographer, and now actress. I can add that to the, to the resume. Her name is Talent at Just Cookie Dough on social media. Thank you, my sister, for coming in.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Man, it's great to have you in the studio. Now, some of the headlines we'll be looking at this week will be Burna Boy homecoming celebration in Port Harcourt, as also Francis Ngannou becoming the UFC heavyweight champion in becoming the third African world champion at the UFC. And of course, Lil Nas X video and in some quarters, they say satanic promotion. And a video surfaced of rapper Quavo and Saweetie kind of tussling in the elevator and a lot more. Now, we're going to start in Nigeria, Port Harcourt to be exact, where singer Burna Boy was awarded this, I think, the second highest honor for a citizen after his Grammy Award win. The singer was welcomed in his city by thousands of fans from the airport with traditional dancers, fans, and members of the security forces on show. He was initially received at the governor's house where the official ceremony took place before he went to the convention center where he performed alongside other popular Port Harcourt superstars such as Duncan Mighty and Timaya, both of which gave Burna Boy huge hugs at different times during the night, congratulating him on his illustrious win. The governor also announced that all performing acts will be given a sum of 10 million naira each for being ambassadors and showing up when they were called upon. Well, some folks still argue that performing artists shouldn't have been paid, and Burna Boy, who was celebrated on the day, shouldn't have taken home a paycheck as well. Now, let's start. We spoke about this last week, the fact that he had been celebrated in Port Harcourt and there were allegations of maybe he was going to receive 100 million naira, which is an equivalent of about $250,000, which would probably be his booking fee nowadays because he's a Grammy Award winner. Do you understand what I mean?
International.
Exactly. However, on the day of the event itself, I think it was groundbreaking on social media. We saw how the state received him and how the governor welcomed him into the state, congratulating him on his win, awarding him that title, and then going to the convention center where the likes of Timaya and Duncan Mighty performed before the governor stepped on stage, and announcing that every single person that performed that night was going to receive a 10 million naira payment. One of the performers that night was an up-and-coming female artist. That, posted on social media about 2 days after. She was in tears when she received 10 million naira. What are your thoughts? First of all, I'll go to Talent. What are your thoughts about the celebration? What did you think about what the governor did and how the whole thing went?
I think Burna Boy has made the country, the continent proud. And we need to learn to appreciate people and give them their accolades. So absolutely chuffed that, you know, he got celebrated in the way that he did. It's only motivation for our upcoming artists, for the young boys, for the, you know, in the streets that are thinking, okay, you know what, I can do that. Maybe I can be a Grammy Award artist. And I think not a lot of people in our countries are able to see that and envision it. It's easier when you're in the UK and you can be like, I want to win this award. In our countries, they don't really get those awards. The most you can achieve is whatever the awards you have in your country. Do you know what I'm saying? So when you now see that there is somebody that's... Because Burna Boy's story is amazing from where, you know, he's come, where he wasn't able to do what he needed to then coming out and just killing it on the scene. So absolutely, I'm very happy that he was celebrated. In terms of taking money away, I mean, he's an artist and his presence is worth some dough. You know what I'm saying? His presence is worth some money. So you want to celebrate him, and at the same time, he did, you know, show up and do what he needed to do. So get him his money, and like you said, the artists that were performing, some of them are upcoming and it will definitely do wonders for, you know, for their careers in terms of advancing it, investment into their videos and things like that. So why not see it as an investment for those people to be able to continue doing what they're doing? And we need to start respecting artistry in itself, because I feel a lot of people just feel like, oh, because you just showed up. But I've showed up and I am somebody because of the behind the scenes that I have done every other day. You don't see it. Your work might even finish from 9 to 5, but as an artist, 24/7 you're an artist. I wake up, I have to think, what I'm living is my inspiration. The things that I put into it, the words, and you know, when I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, okay, what can I do? And then you enjoy the music, and because the song is 3 minutes, you're thinking it's just 3 minutes. But there's a lot that's gone into it. So I'm happy for people to be celebrated and be given their accolades.
Facts. Damola, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Talent has said most of it really. But I'm just going to add a few things to it. There's a popular Yoruba saying, my Yoruba is not perfect, so I'm not going to even try to. I'm not going to attempt it. But the saying goes, when a child does bad, we should scold the child. And when the child does well, we should also praise the child.
Absolutely.
And like Talent said, Burna Boy has made not just the state proud, he's made the country proud and the continent very proud. So it's only right. Because again, we're the same people that when these artists do something wrong or take a wrong step, we're very quick to pull them down. So when they go ahead and do something big, like win a Grammy, then they should be properly celebrated. And that's why it's only right that, you know, he was given a homecoming welcome like a king that he is. His people came out in support to show him love. And then, you know, the young artists that performed as well were rewarded by the governor through the state ministry, I think, of culture and tourism. So it's appropriate. There's nothing inappropriate about it. And like Talent said, you know, that money, that sum is life-changing for a lot of these artists. They've never seen that kind of paycheck before. So for them, it's encouraging. For young boys and girls in Port Harcourt, seeing or being present there that day, it gives them a lot to aspire to and say, you know what, one day I want to be on that stage. One day I want to be like that. For Burna Boy personally, for his family, that as well must have been a very proud day and moment for them. In short, for the entire generation in that their community.
Absolutely.
You know, they were honored on the state level. It doesn't get bigger than that. So I think there's nothing wrong with that. And, you know, for Burna Boy, like Talent said, all the work that's gone into, you know, creating his art, putting it out there, pushing the brand internationally, and then for him to come home and be rewarded for that. It's just the state government saying, look, we appreciate what you've done. And for that, help us, you know, accept this as a sign of our gratitude.
That, you know, people people had attacked the state governments and maybe the federal government for not really celebrating these guys well enough. Now, one of the other criticism which has been discussed in the past is the fact that, so the government has that type of money to give these artists, but they're not investing in the communities or whatever. What do you say to that?
I was going to say, the moment that he mentioned that it came from the Ministry of Tourism and all these things, the amount of tourism that these people have brought into the country is definitely an investment. So the kind of advertisements that we've had in terms of Wizkid working with Chris Brown, Davido, these people are actually part of the tourism.
Absolutely.
I've been to Ghana because of Afro Nation.
Absolutely.
And it's a country that I never really thought to go on holiday to, but because of the artists that were going to be there, I traveled.
Went there.
Doing so many things, like people overlook it. But these artists are part of what makes the country what it is.
Absolutely.
And are definitely reasons for people to be traveling to these places. And maybe like sometimes we see how they're living there. We're like, oh, so Nigeria is not really the ghetto.
Yeah.
Like, I can go and, you know, now I want to go and have a vacation that's, you know, more glamorous.
Yeah.
Or I can say, like, we can just see different things in the ways that they're living life, in their artistry. We want to see their performances and things like that. So definitely, if it's being fucked out from, you know, tourism side, 100%, it's doing what it's supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Just to add to that as well, you know, as far as Nigeria is concerned, the hub of creativity or the capital of music in Nigeria has always been Lagos. You know, that's the subconscious, unofficial capital of music.
However, Port Harcourt has contributed hugely.
Yes, and Port Harcourt has been contributing for years.
Yes.
You know, Duncan Mighty, we've had Timaya come through. Let's even go outside of Port Harcourt from the east. We've had Flavor come through. We've had people like Ill Bliss. A lot of people from there, but they don't get they don't get the attention that they deserve.
Yes.
So a spectacle like that, a celebration like that, further reminds everyone that, look, there's talent in Port Harcourt. It brings eyes to Port Harcourt. If I'm a music executive, I'm looking at Port Harcourt now. Who's the next Port Harcourt guy I can sign? So for me, there's
and then
wins
I
here.
also think that it's just as you've mentioned, it's now an opportunity where the state government has taken the lead in celebrating creatives like we haven't seen other governments in Nigeria do.
Exactly.
Especially with Port Harcourt that has produced a lot of incredible talents that Nigeria has been proud of. So now maybe other companies can invest in the radio, invest in the entertainment sector.
Exactly.
And artists from Port Harcourt don't need to travel to Lagos and become... I said once that what Atlanta has become to hip-hop, Port Harcourt has the potential to become that for Afrobeats in Nigeria. Because Port Harcourt has a huge array of talents that have always had to go to Lagos to go and hustle again. But if you invest in Port Harcourt and invest in that industry, maybe everybody now has to come from other parts to come and market in Port Harcourt. Talent agencies can go in there and look for talents and scout. Omale, in February, he came to Lagos for the first time. And by May, he became the hottest act in the continent.
Yeah, we were talking about this group. I've forgotten them now. Their name just skipped my... The two rappers, P.I. Piego and Knowledge. They have a song with Omale now.
Oh, yeah.
Ajabo Hustlers. Yes. They've been on the scene for a while, but because they're based in Port Harcourt, nobody's really paid attention to them. Now... They've come to Lagos, made some connections with, you know, executives in Lagos, collaborating with people left, right, and center. Now they're getting their attention. But like you said, it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
They should be able to be in Port Harcourt and still, you know, get attention. So, I mean, what the government has done is say, look, Port Harcourt this government is a government that supports talent and creativity. That's what they've done with that concept. Now, I think what people will be looking out for is what then happens next.
What goes
after this? Are we just using Burna Boy Shine to celebrate talent and then not move on? But, you know, I hope to see more of that from the government.
Absolutely. Now, from Nigeria going over to the United States of America, where the UFC saw another historic win for an African representative. Now, Cameroonian fighter Francis Ngannou became the undisputed heavyweight champion in style, stopping Stipe Miocic in, I believe, the second round or something, with a flurry of incredible punches. Now, the Cameroonian giant becomes the third African world champion at the UFC, following in the footsteps of Israel Adesanya and Kamaru Usman, who was a member of his training team leading up to the fight. Ngannou, who always spoke of his tough upbringing and long journey from Cameroon to France and then ultimately to the United States of America, dedicated the win to all his African fans, especially young Cameroonian kids who will see this as another source of inspiration to achieve their dreams. How incredible is it to see at a big platform like the UFC, we're now seeing Africans really dominating at these organizations.
I love it. I love all these black kings just striving and doing the things that you would normally see black people doing, things you wouldn't normally see. It's not something that your parents say, grow up and be a UFC fighter.
Absolutely.
But you got a dream, you go for it, and he's killed it. And I'm a big fan, I'm a big supporter of every single black person that chases their dream, and especially when they succeed, kudos to you, King.
They asked him a question after, the win, and they said, what does this mean to you? He said, it's not really about what it means to me. It's about what it means to the millions of African young people that for a long time have not had their dreams. They can't even dream high because of the difficulties and the challenges that they're facing on the continent. But now, not only is music doing amazing, not only is fashion doing amazing, but now in the fight game, sports, they can also see another way to achieve their dreams. Damola, what are your thoughts?
Again, this is just another fantastic story for Africans on the international stage. It's been an incredible couple of weeks for Africans on that level. And you see, Francis's win is even more significant because of his roots, like you said, coming from Cameroon, being forced to fight for rebel groups or work for rebel groups, going to America, homelessness, poverty, losing to Stipe Miocic
2 years ago,
and then coming back as the favorite. When in a championship fight,
when he was fighting the
champion, he was the favorite going into that fight, and then he won in spectacular fashion. What that says to anybody, even myself, is that no matter the odds, no matter where you're coming from, no matter how bleak your current situation might be, you can still reach the levels you want to achieve. You can still be celebrated on the world stage. And like Talent said, for young boys and girls in Africa, that's pretty much all they need.
Absolutely.
They don't even need Francis coming to say anything to them. Just seeing that is miraculous. It's encouraging.
And another thing that touched me was, obviously in the last couple of months or weeks, we'd seen a lot of discord between Cameroonian and Nigerian entertainers that has spilled onto social media from the banned Nigerian music movement and whatever it is. But you see Ngannou say during his interview that having Kamaru Usman in his camp was essential because Kamaru, being a current champion, almost showed him how to walk the walk and achieve his dream. And it was that is his brother that led him and helped him climb over the mountain. What does that symbol also show to the warring
Exactly.
factions?
I was just going to come to that actually. So, having Kamaru in Francis's camp showed that, divided, what's that popular saying? Divided, we fall, united we stand. If you watch the fight, if you watch the win, one of the key things that was pointed out by commentators was how Francis's grappling defense had improved. That was always his weak point.
His wrestling.
His wrestling had improved.
His defense.
Where did that come from? That came from Kamaru Usman. So, when we are together as Africans, as compatriots, when we stand together, especially on an international stage or platform like that, what we can achieve is the sky is the starting point. It's crazy. But if to say Kamaru stood and said, no, I'm Nigerian, I'm only representing for Nigerians, or I want to be the only African champion, then what win is that? To whose benefit is that? And the fact that Francis pointed that out, it was really very, very commendable. And we should encourage more of this within our music space, our acting space. We're all Africans. Nothing like stop at Nigerian music, Ghanaian music. If we do that, nobody's music is going to grow.
Absolutely.
Nobody's going to eat money. Nobody's going to get streams. So we all need to come together, promote each other, and enjoy the wins together.
Talent, you're from Zimbabwe. I know with South Africa, there's been the discord in the past couple of years with xenophobia and stuff like that. But how important are symbols like this in healing the wounds that, have occurred in the past couple of years and bringing us closer together, especially amongst the younger generation?
Absolutely. It's so, so important. So as a Zimbabwean, I grew up in Zimbabwe. I'm very connected to my culture. I came to England and I was living in an area where I couldn't even find black people. And then I come to London and there's this huge Nigerian sort of industry that's there, and I'm being introduced to all this. So I feel a bit more at home, but not quite, because it's Nigerian music, yes. There's elements of it that I can relate to, but there's nothing that feels like home, if that makes sense. So I think, so when I start seeing Amapiano coming to it and everyone's loving it, I feel a bit more accepted and a bit more wanted. But the thing is, Amapiano is only a fraction of what South Africa is, and essentially less of a fraction of what Zimbabwe is. Because I feel like Zimbabwean artists are completely ignored. And the way, I think you've seen with social media, I'm like, proud Zimbabwean. and I bang out Zimbabwean music all the time, and I'm just trying to get like people listen. I will write out lyrics in English
so that
people kind of connect the way that
Yeah.
I connect. It's not something that somebody asked me to do.
But it's something you're taking upon
To help.
yourself.
Because
Yeah.
I just feel like you people need to know what this song is making you feel.
When you're talking about feelings, I remember how Jah Praiser made me feel at the One Africa Fest. Just thinking about it right now is pretty much giving me goosebumps. He walked on stage, and I don't care who you are, what language you speak, if you understood what he was saying or not. His vocal ability and how he cried out.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the lyrics was, but
feel the
somehow
passion.
I knew that this song meant a little bit more than just a song. And his performance that day, I think that One Africa Music Fest in London, that one was definitely, Zimbabwe definitely walked away atop of the charts that day.
Yeah, no, that was amazing.
And
I was on stage with him that day.
Yeah, where you?
And for me, seeing him perform from the first time that I saw him perform, there's not a time that he's performed in London and I haven't been there since the first time I saw him because he's so sensational and it's only ever Zimbabweans there. And I try and drag my friends here and I'm like, oh, this is Zimbabwe. Just come, just come. But he's sensational and he's one of the few people that I would love to see get the accolades he deserves. Because he does try and connect. He's done a song with Davido, which is fantastic. He's done it with Yemi as well. That's a beautiful song. Even the words, everything about it. Yemi works with it so well. So I'm just there like, do you people not see this? Like, this is great stuff.
I think that's what the likes of kind of Afro Nation and all of these platforms
are trying to achieve.
Offer, the Pan-African experience. Like Damola is saying. So that way we're able to introduce each other. Yes, I've seen Jah Praiser, but when I saw him on stage that day, I would pay to go and see him somewhere else. And I believe I wasn't the only one that felt that way. And I think what we need are opportunities where other, African creatives can showcase their talents and cross-market to different markets.
And this, I think, from exactly what you just said, is exactly what was happening in terms of the fight.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what he allowed because he's open to allowing other people from other camps into his camp. And as long as we're not allowing people in our camp, we're not going to grow. There's something that we're going to be missing. There's something that Zimbabwe knows, that an instrument that they have that we're not going to be able to have.
Take advantage
and there's something that a Nigerian's going to have that we're not, if we don't allow them into our camp, we won't know. It's so important, that unity, and to see that on such a great scale. And it's just like, this is it. This is what's allowed me to be here. And it's made it that much. It's not saying I wouldn't be able to do it by myself.
Made it
but
even easier.
This is what allowed me to be in this position so quickly.
No, that's amazing, man. That's fantastic. Now, staying in the USA, where this past week has been about one young rapper in Lil Nas X. The artist released the video to his latest single, Montero, and all hell literally broke loose. The music...
Hold on. Spraying anointing oil all over this podcast table.
Now, the music video for Montero is an erotic video with loads of Christian imagery. It begins with a snake seducing Lil Nas X in the Garden of Eden. It notably ends with the singer pole dancing his way into hell before giving Satan himself a lap dance, killing him and taking his crown. Now, the artist said the song was about a man he had fallen for in the past. Once visuals for the song dropped, everyone had an opinion on social media, from fans to political and religious leaders, attacking the young star for what is being called in some quarters as glamorizing Satan worshipping. Whilst the star was fighting off critics on social media, the rapper then released a collaboration sneakers called the Satan Shoes, with an outfit called Mischief, I believe it is, and the soles was reported to contain real human blood. Now, the sneaker line appeared to have the Nike logos. However, Nike came out saying they knew nothing about these trainers and are taking the company to court over this. Well, this hasn't stopped Lil Nas X from dominating the headlines, as some of his friends, such as Miley Cyrus, can be seen in a pair of the so-called Satan's shoes. This has once more raised the question, where does creativity end and where does blasphemy start? Who's going to take this one first?
Listen, I'm gonna just say this right now. I have not watched the video. I am terrified of the devil. Okay, I know the devil has powers. From when I've heard, I'm not trying to watch the screen, and all of a sudden I'm just there and can't get my eyes off it. The song is just so good, and once you hear it, you can't unhear it. But I refuse to watch the video.
Did you see any images?
I saw parts of it, and from what I saw Zizi saying online is something that I definitely agreed with as
Zizi
well.
Mills, a UK broadcaster.
Yes, so she's quite opinionated, and I definitely agreed with her on this because people were talking about how obviously he pole danced and danced his way to hell and danced on the devil himself. If he was a woman, it wouldn't be seen as a problem because you know, it's a woman, it's sexualized, and it's okay. It's a man that's now done it, and I think a lot of people are also uncomfortable with his sexuality. So they're now making it like it's definitely the devil that's done this to you and all of that. But at the same time, like I said, I am a Christian. I am terrified of what the devil can do. So I'm not going to put myself in the position to, you know, to be messed with. And buying shoes that have blood in them. God.
All right, I think Talent has said, you know, as speaking as a Christian, I think Talent has pretty much covered that, saying it is, I condemn that as a Christian, looking at it with my Christian eyes. Anything devil, anything that seems to be glamorizing that is a no-no. Hence why there's a lot of criticism about that and the shoes as well. But then taking myself out of that, you know, this is Lil Nas X. Are we really surprised? You know, he's pushed the boundaries a little bit. And, you know, we're having a conversation before we start recording. The boundaries of what is acceptable in the name of creativity has been pushed, you know, over the years. Gradually, it's been first, we couldn't really be so vocal about sex. Now people are openly talking about it, talking about oral sex, all of that. Even in the videos, the boundaries are, you know, I think at this point, it's just above the nipple is acceptable and under, you know, that's how far the boundaries are going. So I'm not really surprised by it, I'll be honest with you. And even down to the shoes, the Satan shoes. How come nobody spoke about it when the same company released the Jesus shoes? This is a company that released the Jesus shoes that sold out. It had the crucifix on it, it had the verses, and I think they said he had water from a holy river in Jerusalem. And then now they've done the Satan shoes, and now people are talking. As a Christian, even the Jesus is blasphemy.
100%.
You know, so we're only just talking about it now because it has Satan.
Initially, when I watched the video, you know, because the funny thing is, the day the video released, I had heard nothing about it. I was just on YouTube, and it popped up as something to see. The still image was, I was like, what? Let me have a look. So I'll be honest with you, 40 seconds in or 30 seconds in, I just got it. I'm like, yo, this man is walking dangerous grounds. And then maybe after a day or something, I thought about it again. We've watched horror movies. We've seen terrifying horror movies of some crazy demon or whatever. But what's the difference here? The difference is maybe the horror movies most of the time might have a happy ending. You know, maybe the evil was cast out or whatever. And in this case, this 3-minute video, whatever, doesn't have that. Now, let's look at it again. If we're looking at it in a creative way that we can watch other movies, it's okay to write terrible stories in books and in movies, then a music video shouldn't be that different. You know, where you can be allowed to create. It is fantasy. It's supposed to be a fantasy world. But as Talent has said, I think a lot of other things come into it. His sexuality. Instantly, a lot of people have already been feeling uncomfortable about his sexuality within the rap world. And then you get a man pole dancing or lap dancing for the devil. It also takes the box even further. If it was a woman, I don't think nobody would have said anything about that. But
if it was Nicki, no one would have said anything. If it was Cardi B doing it, fine. Make the stallion sexy.
Yeah, when when Cardi B did the WAP song or whatever it is that they did all of that stuff, people had criticism. Oh, but it still became the biggest record at the time, breaking all sorts of records. And I believe this song as well and video shattered records too. Hit about 17 million views in 24 hours. By now, I don't even know how many views it would have. But for me, I am comfortable if I'm sure that the young man is very comfortable about what he's doing. And he's in full control. It's not, it's not that maybe some people might just be using him as an agenda or what if he's in full control? He came with the idea, I see how well this is going to work for my song. Let's get to it. He's 21 years old.
Yeah. He's very smart. He's very smart.
And he's been smart from day one. He became successful by creating memes.
Yeah, he's very smart.
Yeah.
I've seen his TikTok and prior to the video coming out, he has like a pair of boobs that he sort of plays with. And he just kind of messes around with the whole idea of people not being comfortable with his sexuality. And he has joked about this as well since it's come out, since the video's come out, even for being sued. So he said, well, this is going to be me after Nike sue me. And it was like basically just him in poverty. And he's been joking about it. So you can tell that he's definitely in his comfortable space. In terms of creating. That's what he wants to do. He hasn't been forced. He doesn't seem scared about anything. So in that aspect, I think he's comfortable. But whether I'm going to be comfortable watching it, that's a different story.
That's a different story. I think, just to wrap this, I think Lil Nas X and his camp achieved whatever they wanted to achieve.
Shock and awe.
The shock value, the numbers, the eyes, the buzz, they've gotten it. We're all talking about it.
Sales.
And just like Talent said, it then comes down to us as the audience. Do we want to watch it or not? If we don't like what we see, we tune away. And then we know this is not an artist that we want to look forward to his next video. It's simple. It's as simple as that.
Absolutely.
So, fair play. Well, not fair play, but we wish them all the best. We wish them all the best.
I can't even say well done.
We wish them all the best.
No,
we wish them all the best.
Be careful with punching the table. The producer's going to kill you. So, over to Ghana, where the #1 news dominator and dancehall superstar Shatta Wale cut the headlines once again. The singer, who is in the works to release a new album, tweeted on Wednesday, and I quote, "This GOG album, which means Gift of God, will be my retirement album. Made enough to go into business and create employment for those who still want to follow the course." End quote. This tweet is taken in many quarters as a hint as his final album before venturing into other parts of the entertainment world. Shatta is known for making bold statements in the past, and this might just be another one of those. Final album or just another attention-grabbing moment?
How long has Shatta been in the industry for?
He's been in the industry for a long time.
At least 10 years.
At least 10.
How much more do you think he has to give to the industry?
That's
you see, when it comes to music, I don't think there's
a retirement
age or date, because inspiration doesn't finish. Music does. Music, we've seen some artists go as far as their 45th birthday, 50th birthday,
60, 70,
still 60, 70, still singing. So I don't think there's a timeline for retirement. But again, with Shatta, maybe he's gotten tired of it.
I think music is a very creative thing, and as much as going with the times, you also need to kind of want people to follow your creativity. And from Shatta, I can't say I'm a fan, that's a lie. I respect his artistry, and there's so many other songs that he's done that I think are just amazing. But I just feel like recently, aside from the Beyonce stuff, there isn't much from him that I'm like, Shatta Wale's tune. Yes. Do you know what I mean? So, in terms of his creativity and where he's going with his music, I don't see it being the same as he was before. So I can understand him making the statement, maybe just leaving a gift to his fans to say, yeah, this has been my career and this is what I'm doing for you, and I'm not doing anymore. I don't really look forward to like Shatta Wale's music. Like, oh my gosh, he's releasing an album. What's gonna come? Maybe this will be one of those times, because maybe he's gonna sort of like put everything in it, thinking this is the last one. But his other releases.
I think leading up to the Beyonce record, he's had hit records. He continues to have hit records, but the Beyonce record was such a monumental record that I believe as fans, somehow secretly or maybe even publicly, we wanted him to use that as a leapfrog onto other things and, really go in like the other people have. If you look at your Burna Boys, your Wizkids, your Yemi Alades, everybody have used that as a bridge to do more. But I think he's just been comfortable being extremely successful in Ghana and dominating his own scene, and he didn't really capitalize on that. Perhaps, like you said, maybe this album might be that.
Yeah, maybe he's just, like I said, maybe he's just felt like he's evolved into someone else now. He's not the same Shatta that was, because as artists, they're human beings as well, they evolve.
Absolutely.
When he started, he was talking about, singing a lot about coming up, the grind, the street. He became a successful artist, started singing about success, so now maybe he's in that state where he's like, I'm done with all of this. I want to start focusing on the business side of things.
Jay-Z stage.
Yeah, Jay-Z stage. But then, speaking about Jay-Z, he came back. Jay-Z has retired at least 2 or 3 times and still dropped an album. We've seen Eminem retire and still drop an album. Dr. Dre retired and still dropped an album. Yeah. So again, don't be surprised, because again, this is Shatta Wale we're talking about. He can still come back next year or in 6 months. So whichever way, Shatta, we're here for you.
And I think it's a great way to push the album as well.
Yeah.
100%. So, because someone was telling me, this is it for me, I'll definitely want to listen to whatever they're putting out. Like, okay, so
what are you signing
on
out
what
with?
note are you leaving this?
Yeah.
So it's a great marketing skill that he's got.
Absolutely. He's currently in Miami. We see him spending a lot of money buying chains and all of these designer outfits and doing the most out there. So hopefully he's finishing up on the Gift of God album, as he said. Now, from Ghana, we go over to East Africa, Uganda to be exact, where it's been reported that Senegalese-American superstar Akon is currently on a business trip. The singer is reported to be interested in investing in Uganda, looking at meeting with the current president after being received by the special advisor to the president on what I think is some tourism and stuff. I think it's on tourism and diaspora affairs. Now, Akon obviously just invested about $6 billion or kickstarted a $6 billion city in Senegal that's supposed to be a futuristic whole situation. Him coming into other parts of Africa, looking at ways to invest and parts to invest in. I think it's a great move for Pan-Africanism. What are your thoughts on that when it comes to
I'll let Talent go first on this one.
I'm a big fan of investing into Africa.
Yep.
Big fan of it, because we need to create opportunities for our people back home.
Yep.
It's not a help us being successful and living our best lives here and we're not doing anything for generations to come. So I'm a big fan. However, I'm very aware of how much it can easily become a monopoly situation. And as much as people can say they have good intentions, there's no one with bad intentions that's going to outright say it. Yeah. So I'm very... I'm just watching to see to what level is he taking it, because he wanted to do a coin to have his own currency. Why?
Coin, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? How is that helping the country's economy?
Yeah.
So when he's now venturing out to Uganda, what kind of help is he trying to give, and how is it working out? So I am grateful for the help. I appreciate the help, but I'm also just sort of wary and vigilant, just to see on what level. How are you trying to get involved? Yeah. What are you getting from it?
Yeah, I'll say this as a recording artist, I'm a fan of Akon.
Yeah.
But what I have noticed a pattern in the last couple of years, we get these headlines, which are really great headlines, like Talent has just said. He's starting the futuristic city in Senegal. He's giving electricity to 1 million homes, and now he's doing this thing. They're all great headlines, but as a skeptic, where's the meat? We don't see or hear anything after these headlines. What's the situation with the thing in Senegal? What's the situation with the Light Up Africa project? We're not seeing anything after these headlines. So that's where I'm a bit, I'm not rushing to celebrate this one just yet. Akon, I want to see a bit more, give us updates on the previous
I like the fact that you mentioned and you brought these up. What about, what responsibility do we have in the media and as a people to also ask the questions on the previous, projects.
Yeah.
What's going on with the Light of Africa? I want to see the families that have been lit up.
Yeah.
To
How many
raise their
homes have
hands.
been lit up?
Yes. What is going on with the $6 billion futuristic city?
Yeah.
What are these situations?
Yeah, I think it's important for us to not forget how much of a rich continent Africa is. There are so many resources, so many raw materials that you can get there that it's easy for me to say, I'm going to come and do this for you.
Yeah.
And it's easy for people that are in the diaspora to come and say, I can do things for you. It's more believable because they think we have access to
We've got
things.
access.
And then we now get access to these things and we can do whatever we want to do with them.
Yeah.
Sell them if we want to. So definitely our accountability is necessary when it comes to people say, I'm going to do this. Okay, have you done it? How far are we with the project? Because obviously I can't imagine it's like a year project. Obviously it takes time.
Yes.
But progress reports.
Yeah,
Let us know what's you made it a big thing.
A big
for
announcement.
us to know what you're doing. Update us. Let's go on the journey with you. We'll appreciate it more.
Yeah.
Facts.
A bit more accountability, Akon.
Yeah,
we'll celebrate this one.
Now, over to Nigeria, where this week a video went viral showing superstar singer Shayi Shay, who is currently a judge on Nigerian Idol, criticizing a contestant and being blunt about their chances in the music industry, telling the youngster that whoever advised them to audition wasn't their friend. The video instantly became the most talked about content in Nigeria, with Shayi Shay becoming subject to heavy criticism and being the subject of social media memes and jokes. Let's take a look.
It's been a year, and you made me know God I'm laughing at them, and I'm laughing at the fact that I just can't believe what I just heard.
Wow.
That didn't sound good. So I don't know, who told you to come and...
nervous.
No, wait. Somebody lied to you. Somebody told you to come here and audition. And that person should go back and tell them that they're not your friend. Because that was not a good audition. You're never going to make money being a singer. Babes, I love you, you're so sweet, but you're not a singer.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have had a look at this video that has gone viral. Shayi was under immense attack, became the number one trending topic in Nigeria on Twitter. She was actually 1, 2, 3, and 4. Nigerian Idol was top. Shayi Shay was top. It was crazy. She was being attacked on Twitter, Instagram,
Everywhere.
And even celebrities came out to say that her criticism of the contestant was wrong. What were your thoughts?
I think it's important for people to say what they're thinking. I feel like sometimes the media scares people into saying their opinions because they're scared they're going to get the attack. And whilst it was a little bit harsh, I feel like certain people need to hear
the truth.
Because she can just simply say no, and that same person will be following it on and on and on. If they're not good and they need to be told, listen, that was horrible. It was horrible. A lot of people will be thinking it, but wouldn't necessarily say it.
Yeah.
So because she's become the person with the balls to say it, it now becomes a problem of, number one, she's a woman. So how is she saying that? Like, how is she so comfortable? Number two, she's still quite young. And I feel like us as Africans, we tend to judge each other harshly when it comes to those situations. Why do you feel like you can say this? There is a lot of that in our community. Having said that, there's always a nice way to say things, isn't it? So she could have been nice about it.
Yeah, I mean, well said, Talent. For me, it's just 3 questions. Was the contestant actually a good singer? The answer is no. What is Shayi Shay's job as the judge? Her job is to critique and criticize. Does Shayi Shay have a right, or is she in a position, or is she qualified enough to be a judge on such a show? The answer is yes, because she's a successful recording artist. Now, was she harsh in the way she delivered the criticism? I would say it's arguable. It's arguable. For me personally, I won't be as harsh.
Yeah.
But for some other people, they need to hear it like that, like Talent said. And, you know, I looked at some of the tweets or the criticism Shayi Shay was receiving. Like Talent said, a lot of them were like, you know, taking shots at her being a woman, talking like that. Some were saying, you know, how much success has she achieved to be in a position to say somebody else can never make it as a recording artist. And I thought that was really unfair. You know, we can criticize somebody, but we should not in the process take away their accomplishments.
Absolutely.
Shayi Shay has accomplished a lot as a recording artist.
Absolutely.
So that line of criticism is unacceptable. As a judge, she's doing what she's being paid to do. Let's not forget, this is a TV show. That is part of what makes it a TV moment.
Yeah.
Why is it okay for Simon Cowell, and we laugh and applaud that, or Gordon Ramsay to trash people on TV, worldwide TV, and, you know, it's one of our own now.
I think people were also kind of criticizing Shayi because the young contestant was allegedly 17 years old, and because of the kids of nowadays, you know, some of them, their strength, you know, when you criticize them that harshly, some of them might take it to the other side and in some cases fall into depression or this or that. Just as both of you have said, you know, my thing is this. First of all, you have to understand the auditioning process. Yeah. That little clip that was put out there would have been maybe just 3 minutes of a 12-hour day when she has been faced with nothing but 500 terrible singers. Yeah. Unfortunately, the young 17-year-old man became the last one of a terrible day of auditions where you're just like, do you understand? Listen, it's not going to happen for you.
Forget it.
You know, but you forget that you get into a pattern because it's been a whole day or probably even 4 or 5 days of just criticizing terrible singers and whatever, that you fall into a situation where it's almost like a hole. And then people are talking about Shayi Shay's harsh criticism. A lot of people have forgotten that this young lady was managed and mentored by Matthew Knowles, the founder of Destiny Child. Do you think Shayi Shay
had easy?
Exactly. Do you think that the person that managed her career and mentored her told her that you'll be a great singer? No, Matthew Knowles is a straight talking shooter like that. He doesn't hold no punches. No, if you're doing terribly, I've seen interviews where, you know, Beyonce and Kelly Rowland said, apart from being in the studio for 9-10 hours, he would take them out in the sun, go running, jogging, dancing, doing everything, and then coming back to the studio to record and be expected to give 1,000%. That's who mentored her. So when she's faced with a young man that probably might need a little bit more coaching or perhaps doesn't have the talents to succeed in the industry as she felt, there will be a moment where you want to be as real as possible. Again, you know, I think, full disclosure, Shayi is almost like a family to me. And one of the things I said to her was probably the sandwich approach would have been better. A little, you know, harsh at the beginning, and then probably a little positive information in between, which is, you know, you might have the right concept or whatever, but it's just not working. Maybe a little bit more training, and then you can finally finish that off with a little bit harsher comments and say, perhaps the singing might not be for you. Maybe you've got great lyrics. You might as well put your hand to writing, but singing for now is not working. And I think people would take that a lot better. But again, Shayi is one of those that the fans either love or hate. And because they sometimes have picked a side, they always judge her harshly.
Based on that bias.
We're assuming here that the fans are saying what they're saying because they are thinking about the young men's mental health. Which is understandable. It's very important, especially in the times that we're in. What about Shayi's mental health now?
Facts.
Now that we're all sort of attacking her, because I feel like as a nation, as a people, we just need to find ways to hold people accountable without further damaging them. Because we are saying, you shouldn't have done that, you shouldn't have done that. Now people are saying, what have you done? What, you know, things like that. She also is a person and she has feelings. So she might have done wrong. let's find a way to say, okay, yeah, this could have been done better without completely destroying her.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. And that's such a fantastic takeaway from that. Now, over to the USA, where they recently separated and much talked about couple Saweetie and rapper Quavo caught the headlines once again. Now, this time a security video went viral showing the couple having a bit of a tussle in the lift and Saweetie apparently attempting to hit a man with her expensive bag. Since the video went viral, as you would imagine, the world has had something to say about it, with allegations of violence in the relationship and speculations of a police investigation into the clips. Although both guys have been quiet on the viral video, it hasn't stopped the conversations of what happened in the once celebrated couples relationships. Now,
stay away from elevators.
These elevators, as soon as I saw the headline, I was like, not another elevator video.
But did you see the video though? And what does that video say to you?
Me?
You go first.
To be honest, I've been very quiet in terms of the video because I don't agree with what a lot of people are saying. So I see people saying, he should be locked up and what he's doing. But I see, from what I see, again, it's not the whole video. From what I saw, she was giving it.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for us to hold humans accountable, not just women, not just men. Yeah. Everybody is accountable for their actions. We cannot expect a man to just stand there and take hits because he's a man. You don't know his strength. You don't know what he's been through. And again, we don't know what's going on. But nobody should be raising hands to anybody. She was seen swinging. She shouldn't have been. He then pushes her and people are like, it's so harsh. He was just watching her on the floor. If I'm arguing with you, you're on the floor, I am looking at you like, that's your problem. It's not mine. They're human. They're not. And this is supposed to be in their own space and no one else is there. So unfortunately, it's recorded. If we're all filmed 24/7, I'm pretty sure that there's footage we would want to hit the internet. So looking at it from that way, I do not condone violence at all from any aspect, but I just feel like it's important to hold women accountable as well when they've done something wrong.
Yeah, I totally agree with Talent. We don't know the full context of that video. Unfortunately, there's no sound. And we're only restricted to 10, 15 seconds. So I think I'll reserve my comments on the video. But like Talent said, you shouldn't be hitting anyone, whether you're a man or a woman. The consequences from that could be very different. In this case, someone just fell on the floor. In another case, someone might lose their life or someone might get seriously hurt.
Absolutely.
So I'll just say, as much as possible, avoid that. If you're in a relationship where, hands are being thrown, please find the strength to walk away. If you can't, seek help. Don't stay there and try to, it never ends well. And my closing statement on this is, people that look at social media for couple goals, inspiration, please face your relationship. No, I'm saying that. This one I'm very passionate.
Some of us, we don't have relationships. So we're facing them.
We can live through them.
But this is my thing. There's nothing wrong with couple goals. Because the way that I see it, what I'm shown is what I'm going to go by. At the end of the day, I don't think there's anybody out there that thinks everybody's all roses. There aren't relationships that are perfect. So the moment something goes wrong in somebody's relationship, people are like, are these your couple goals? Yes. They look happy. From what I'm seeing, this is what I want. No, I don't want the fights in the elevators. No, I don't want that. But I want the Beyonce and Jay-Z come on stage and say, my husband did this for me. You support me all the time. I want that. I'm allowed to say couple goals.
Yeah, I mean,
but sometimes what people are talking about, what people are usually saying about the couple goals is, on social media, people put their best foot forward. So what you are seeing is a fantasy world where the reality is far from that. Just 3 or 4 months ago, he gifted her a bed, and 2 months down the line, they were cursing each other on social media publicly. Slamming each other, saying goodbye, good riddance. You were never the girl I thought you were. You were a liar and a cheat who had shared your intimacy with all the other women. However, before that explosion on Twitter 2 weeks ago, they were couple goals. And
girls were harassing their boyfriends. Can you see your mates, Quavo? Can you see what Quavo is doing?
Have you forgotten the Berkin bag situation?
See what Quavo is doing.
If you don't get your man, your girl a Berkin, it's not.
That's what we're saying.
The same Berkin is the one she tried to use to hit him in the head.
I get that. But for me, I think we are, I think, ruining our idea of love these days because we're looking to these people. I think we are allowed to look at certain relationships and just be like, okay, yeah, you know what, that's nice.
Yeah.
That part I want.
Yeah.
No one's saying overall things. Because again, their burdens could be easy to me, or you know, what's a burden to me could be something that they can handle easily. But I'm allowed to look at a picture of Laurie Harvey and Michael B. Jordan and just say, okay, you know what,
Michael, don't let us down, bro. Don't let us down, bro.
What about the likes of Adrian Brody, who had put on social media that, listen, that's just lover's tiff, that if my girl isn't hitting me with a Berkin handbag, I don't want her.
That's toxic.
I don't want to get hit.
Absolutely.
Because he was saying, like, that's an example of black love.
No, that ain't black love.
See, this is the thing. I think we accept things that we shouldn't be accepting. To say that's black love, no. We know how to love and show actual affection for each other. It's not about hitting. Yes, people can care. We need to learn to communicate. We need to learn to share the feelings. Because as black people, I think maybe we don't do that enough. And we need to share. But that's toxic to accept that as the way things are. And if it's not happening, then are you really in love? Hell no. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll be shutting down the phone like, are you mad? How dare you? But sometimes I sit down and I'm like, this is not what I want. Do you know what I mean? I want to be in a happy relationship where I'm showing love, I'm communicating. Anything else is toxic.
Yeah. It's supposed to be peace, not stress.
You know, be
Yeah,
peace,
exactly,
be
exactly.
her peace.
Stress.
Yes, peace, not stress. Love, not war.
No. Well, since we're in the relationship situation, staying in the USA, where about a week ago, a popular social media commentator and relationship guru named Derrick Jackson caught the headlines after having extramarital relationships. The married advisor is known for being critical of men who cheat and has also been tough on male celebrities in the past. After initial stories leaked about his infidelities, he denied the stories before ultimately coming out, admitting the stories, alleging multiple women before going on Instagram Live with his wife alongside him to discuss his infidelities and claiming him and his wife had worked through the issues. Obviously, he came under obvious criticism. Popular broadcasters such as Charlemagne the God claimed that Derrick was trying to save his career and didn't care about his wife or the millions he had lied to. This begs the question, is it supposed to be do as I say or do as I do? And should people expect relationship advisors to be role models of what they preach and that just take the advice and don't watch their personal lives?
Do as I say, always. Do as I say. As important as do as I do is because I think people would learn more from what they watch. If you're given the information of this is right, this is wrong, he has the information because I've watched his videos and I've got to say I'm one of his followers. I've watched his videos and they're so good, and the things that he says, they ring so true. He just happened to be one of the D-heads that he was talking about. You get what I mean? He was speaking about himself, and he knew it and didn't care, so maybe people can hold him accountable for that. But we can't take away the credibility of what he was saying. What he was saying was right, it was correct, and I'll listen to it. If a man's not doing this, he just happened to be this shite man.
Well said. I mean, like Talent is saying, let's not shoot the messenger with the message. Let's take the message and let's try with the messenger. And I think I'll just leave it on that note because for me personally, I don't have time for relationship experts, relationship counselors. Once I go on anybody's social media page and I say relationship expert, please. Because this is not the first time we've seen a self-acclaimed relationship expert, a self-acclaimed relationship advisor or counselor falling short of their own advice or their own counseling. Derrick Jackson, I didn't even know till this thing broke up.
Till the explosion.
But then, I then scrolled through his page and I realized that I think sometime last year, one of his posts or quotes went viral and, you know, all the women on my timeline were sharing it and sharing it, you know. And the petty person in me was about to say, is this your champion? Is this your champion? you know. So clearly he wasn't taking his own advice. Or there was a particular video that I went back to and where he was talking about if a man cheats on you, he never respected you, he never did this. And then women went back there and they were commenting, this video hits different now.
What about, apart from his, his business, his career as a relationship counselor and expert who is selling millions of books and getting a lot of people to pay money, and women such as talent, following his every advice, even though this man, whatever. What about the fact that he held his wife in that Instagram live?
Yeah.
That one for me, look at that woman.
Yeah.
The thing is, I watched the video and then I watched their live and I've seen a few videos of the wife and
she looked uncomfortable.
She did look uncomfortable, but anybody would be in that situation. We can't expect anything different. It's an uncomfortable situation. She hasn't been in front of the camera doing all these things before, and so it's something that's big for her.
The first time you introduced her was to come. Why did he do that?
I don't think he should have done it. For me, as a woman, I would have been like, hell no, hand your mess. I'm not doing it. Like, deal with it yourself because you put yourself in it. It's interesting that it was coming from we are children of God. And we're working through it with God, and that I felt that was a bit.
All of a sudden, he added God to his relationship counseling. Has he added God before in the past?
This is the thing. I've never heard him speak about respect for God or anything in his videos at all. So for me, that was a bit like, is that her thing that she's brought in, and maybe he's recently saved? I don't know, but I've never heard that before. Yeah. So I thought that was weird. But in terms of the hand holding. I felt like it was an uncomfortable situation for her. So expect her to be uncomfortable. Don't expect her to be happy about it. It's not a nice situation. And from my understanding, it was something that happened over time and they had actually worked through it. So now she's having to relive this without in public. Whereas she had dealt with it personally already. Apparently, obviously she had left, she came back and all these things and they've dealt with it. So imagine going through something so big. You've dealt with it, and now you have to address everybody and explain why you're there.
That's
and
tough,
she got attacked for it and all of this. So for me, I'm very, I want to say I'm considerate when I see things on the internet and I try to think about other people. So in that aspect, I say, of course, she's going to be uncomfortable. So it wasn't like, oh, he's holding her hostage, but he was holding her really tight. He was holding her really tight. He didn't let go at all.
And it's moments like that as a man, you realize how much credibility your woman has.
100%.
At moments like that, when you are facing the barrel of a gun and your whole life and career is flashing right through in front of you. And the one person who the entire world could look at and say, look at that woman, what she might be going through. Because of this woman, maybe I might give you a second chance. It's crazy, isn't it?
It's quite manipulative of him to do
that. It is.
And I think in the video, in the video, he was quite manipulative in the way that he looked at her. So the reason why people felt like she was being held prisoner, I think it's less to do with her, more to do with him. Because he did the looking like, he tried to make it look sincere. Rather than just be natural with it, his body language, from what we know, from what we've seen of him, because he's who we know, so we can judge him.
Yes.
We can't judge it because we don't know what she's like on a regular basis. Yeah. But with him, we know. So his behavior was very, very manipulative in the video. So I think that was a very calculated move.
Yeah, for me, I'll be honest, I think the video was about 10 minutes or so. I could only watch the first 1 minute because seeing her in the video, my eye caught the hand movement. Even when I think I skipped to a point where she started talking, there was that look like, you better say it right. The body language was a bit uncomfortable, so I couldn't watch it. So I never fully watched past like maybe 1 minute and a half, thereabouts. So, and then I went on Facebook and I saw on his Facebook as well, he had the caption, the link to buy my book, read about how we dealt with it in the book. So you're still pushing hustle.
He was still trying to
while still apologizing.
The devil advocate.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, they've come out, because I feel like people are acting like they're still dealing with this now.
And they've gone past it. They're saying they've moved past it.
They've moved past it. So for me, I can see why he might be saying, hold on a minute.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Talent.
No.
Talent is hook, line, and sinker.
Don't get me wrong. For me, I feel like I've lost respect for him as a person. But I can never, if you come and tell me today that if you buy crypto, it's going to make sense. I can't ever denounce your finance knowledge.
Absolutely.
Just because you turned out to be broke in the end. Do you know what I mean? You've done something wrong. You've done the same things that you told me not to do. But I've done them. And if I'm doing them, they're working, then I can't. But like I said, for me, I am trying to think about where they are in their relationship. And they've said they've dealt with it. They've moved on. The only reason we're hearing about it now is somebody couldn't keep their mouth shut, and it's now new. We're acting like it's fresh, and it's not. They've moved on from it.
It's fresh to us, but it might
to
not.
them, it's not. So to him, it's like, okay, next stage. He's moved on from it. They've moved on from it.
Sorry, we don't even know that.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
We are
the
not
narrative
sure about
he's
it.
pushing out.
Yes.
So we don't even know that.
We're not sure about
So
that.
that's why I'm even skeptical as well. Because
that's fair enough.
Yeah.
For me, obviously, with the whole
Hook, line, and sinker.
No. For me, I had taken it at
Talent, don't
surface
buy his
level.
books. Don't tell me you bought his books.
No, I've never bought his
Please.
book. I only follow him.
Yes, let's support him on Instagram and leave it there.
Derrick,
Don't buy his books.
I'll be buying the next one.
Oh no.
Now, over to the UK, where this past week a shocking video also went viral showing UK Afro-Bashment star Not3s and his baby mother having an argument somewhere in the States, and his baby mother can be seen grabbing the baby and storming off. Not3s was happy the altercation was caught on camera by a stranger asking the man who recorded the video to please send the video to him. The couple have in recent times been reported to be going through a rough, tough time before the baby was born, but it appeared all was great after the birth of the cute baby until this footage hit the blogs. So I believe they've separated. The baby's born and they're somewhere maybe on holiday together or whatever, and this video shows up showing them in a little bit of an argument, and the baby mother grabbing the baby and storming off. What are your thoughts, man?
I'm just going to jump in on this one. I'm going to speak from personal experience. So for people that know me personally, my parents as well kind of had a split up when I was young. And one of the things I found difficult to deal with was the public display of a lot of their falling out. So I'm thinking now not about Not3s or his baby mom or the mother of the child.
I'm thinking about the child.
I'm thinking about the child, because now all of this is playing out in public. Prior to this point, we've been seeing, where they're both posting things on their social media, denouncing each other. Prior to this video coming out, already that's messy. And then this video comes out. I don't know who's put it out. Might be somebody from Not3s camp or not, or some passerby putting that out. Either way, for me, I'm thinking the child is going to grow up one day and see all of these things on social media. They're not going to be happy about this. So I think both parents need to consider that when they're taking certain actions. If they're going to do have a fallout, let's try and hold this and take this inside. Not3s being a recording artist, very popular. He also has a career to protect. He has a brand to protect. Those are things I think they should be very conscious of, because the long-term effects of this thing is not today. The blogs have posted it. By next week, we'll stop talking about it. But it's going to live on the internet forever.
Absolutely.
And their baby girl is going to grow up one day, and her friend is going to tease her about that in class. So that's my own thing. Let's be more conscious about how this will affect the child.
Absolutely. Talent, you got something?
I am a child of divorced parents, and like you said, it can be quite nasty to see that play out. Lucky for the kids, she's still young, and all goes well. It might just die down completely to a point. Maybe they may never see the video. Quite
Hopefully
unlikely,
not.
but it might happen. So I wouldn't wish that on anybody's kids. I'm also a mother, and I am not with my
child's
father. And we've had our tiffs. I mean, we co-parent great, but we do have our tiffs. And I did at some point say, you know what, you're not going to see your child again. And this was a very long time ago. And within days, my child was like, mommy, my dad. So, I just said to myself, the only person that's going to suffer in this is my child. And I can't put myself or him in that position. So ever since, I've just made a vow, like, no matter what the argument is, he can have, he has access to his child when he needs to, and when he wants to. So seeing that whole situation for me was a bit like red flag. It shouldn't be like that at all. Not3s was holding the child. We don't know whether it was listen, I'm going, I live with the child, give me the child, or if it was I'm taking this child away from you. So without the audio being clarified, we don't really know. But I would take maybe from what Not said, because if he had been said, if it was vile, he wouldn't be asking for the video.
Yes.
Right, so because he doesn't know how much the person captured. So if he had anything that doesn't work in his favor, I don't think he would have said that.
He just wanted that as proof of that. Listen, this is what's
happened.
For me, I think one of the difficult things, I saw people criticizing them on social media or whatever. I believe the young lady is maybe slightly older than him, maybe 3 or 4 years. But Not3s is a 22-year-old man. Who's dealing with the birth of a child with a woman that he's no longer with for the first time in his life. And all of a sudden, we're expecting this 22-year-old father to have the experience of a 40-year-old man.
They're 40-year-old men that are still not doing it right.
Exactly. So the first thing I just felt for both of them is this is a young, father and mother who are still dealing with the issues that they have with each other very freshly, and unfortunately for them, because of the celebrity status of either of them, this is playing out in public view. The experience of having to deal with a baby father that you're no longer in a relationship with, but coming to the conclusion that you co-parent perfectly, might take over a decade to get to. And similar for a young man who's having to find the spot to how to deal with his baby mother in a perfect way, in co-parent way, will take 10, 15 years in some cases. What we should be hoping for, especially as we've seen that both of them are trying their best to raise a child that has just been born. What we should be hoping for is somehow they get the right advice and support to ensure that this most important person in that child doesn't suffer. And that whatever is playing out between them now stops going out to social media, because one day it will no longer be theirs to carry, but the young child's to deal with. And that, as both of you have said, is probably one of the most scariest things, especially as social media is becoming more and more toxic as time goes on. So hopefully, they come to a resolution where, come on, man, we can deal with things privately, and let's find the best way to raise this child. But again, it's a young baby. She's also going through all sorts of emotions as well. It's a tough time.
I hope they work it out. They're stuck with each other forever.
That's
how it's there
So
forever.
they're going to be in each other's spaces.
They're
going to be in each other's spaces.
They need to find a way to work it out.
Absolutely. Now, talking about superstars, Afrobeat superstar Davido's love life has been in the news lately. With his new squeeze Maya Fi, alleged new squeeze Maya Fi, being the center of attention. Well, after the video of David and Maya holding their hands hit the net and the blogs a couple of weeks ago, a new picture showing both locking lips for the camera also hit the blogs. Now, this recent picture has raised the question if David and Maya are actually dating, or is this alleged flame a stunt with rumors of a music video hitting the net as well.
Obio! Badass!
Listen,
I love Davido, man.
you can't,
I love him.
I think for guys like myself who went to an all-male school and grew up around brothers, a lot of brothers, David, when you meet him, is one of those guys that fits into one of those where he's around so many boys, they're playing pranks all the time, they're laughing and laughing. And so he has that charm about him that a lot of people tend to love. And I think that's what really has kind of propelled him a lot more than even his background or his talent, or just the fact that he looks like a normal, ordinary guy and he carries himself that way makes him likable for a lot of us. Hence, you know, the blogs consistently, I think obviously because of the whole Chioma situation, the blogs consistently want to put a camera on him and stuff, but it also looks like Chioma deleted all of his pictures on her social.
So from what I'm hearing, they're not together anymore, and he's a single man. So he's allowed to be who he wants.
Facts.
He can move on. And to be honest, in terms of moving on, I feel like men aren't allowed to move on quick because they're almost like, oh, you're trash, you've moved on. We don't know how long the relationship has been done and what's happened. And for me, if David wants to date again and give us another show, more assurances given, I'm here for the show. I love it.
I think like Talent said, it's the rumor is that they're not together anymore. But my own take is this: if you're going to be public with your relationship when everything is good, when things end, you need to also you owe it to the public that you are giving a show.
You want some tea?
No, not some tea, not some tea,
We've
but just
all now
clarify it.
invested in it through assurance.
Yeah, just clarify it for everyone, and then it saves you having to explain yourself over and over again when things like this happen, because you know.
Is he trying to explain though?
No, that's what I'm saying. He's not explaining, but he doesn't care. But for the fans and for Nigerians, it's like, you know, what the hell is this? You sang a whole song. You put this love in our face.
Now.
No, you did a song. You did a video. You know, the whole assurance wave. We remember all of that. You know, Davido has been very vocal about Chioma. Even when he didn't need to be. He has been always vocal why he loved her, why she was the one, you know. So that's why people are like invested in that relationship. I'm sorry to say it on camera, Chioma is probably best known for being Davido's girlfriend.
100%.
So that's why people are like really up in her. She has a fan club, Chioma fan club. So
That's rooted
yeah,
for
that's
that
why people
marriage.
are up in arms about it. So I think, you know, David and his team maybe save everybody some stress. If they're
And
not
then
together, confirm it
that
and
would
put an end to
probably
it.
stop
Yeah.
the blogs going
Yeah.
viral and people like us talking
Yeah.
about it.
Exactly.
Because now he's just said, listen, I'm single and I'm seeing someone else. And
Yeah,
that's that.
simple.
Everybody
End it
move
there.
away. And then maybe that will put an end to it rather than it everything he does with another woman instantly becomes front page news because we all feel that his fiance is at home.
Yeah, that's exactly how it looks. That's exactly how it looks.
Yeah.
For a lot of, you know, I'd like to say for us in the African community, where we've seen some foreign woman enter our father's house and displace our mother. So that's the way people are looking at it. Like, engaged now. What's this woman? Who is this? Have you gone to her page the day the first hand-holding pictures came out? Nigerians were in there.
In the comments.
In the comments, they were dragging the girl. They're like home destroyer, home break. They were in the comments.
This girl could not even be his girlfriend.
Yeah,
Just one girl that he hung out
exactly.
with for a
So
while,
I think,
and that was it.
yeah, what Krebs did when he and his
Sasha.
Sasha, they broke up, he put out a quick statement. Ends there. Exactly. If we see Krebs tomorrow with another babe, nobody will raise. If we see Sasha with another, everybody will be happy. But because now there's this ambiguity, people are going to keep talking. People are going to keep getting upset. And you can say, yeah, it's none of their business, but you made it their business by being so public with it. So
Maybe he doesn't want to shut it down completely. He thinks
exactly. Maybe except he's enjoying the attention. Like he said, he choke. made the news choke us.
Did you see the little meme he put when the news broke? Where it was like, I think it was Bart Simpson.
Homer Simpson just faded into the
just
background.
reverse
Like, I'm not involved.
He's amazing, man. He's one of those. Now, okay, finally, we're finishing over in South Africa, where media personality Mini hit back at social media trolls for slamming her online, claiming she was chasing clout. Now, the personality had shared a tribute to veteran broadcaster Moksolo Grootboom, who retired after 37 years of broadcast service. Minnie said she was inspired by the broadcaster and was told by her mom that when she was young, she always got excited when the broadcaster came on air, and she mentioned the broadcaster's name around the house all the time. Now, Minnie was just one of the many celebrities who paid tribute to the excellent career of Noksolo. However, she became the subject of online bullying and Twitter trolls after being singled out for her shout-out. The personality claimed the toxic nature of social media was bad and people jumping on the bandwagon needed to stop. How true is Mini's statement, man?
100%. I think a lot of people will be like, I think even if you look at UK gossip, Shea Barra, people always jump to the comments before they
even
comment.
know what.
Yeah, I do that.
Do you get what I mean? A lot of people do that.
Yeah.
So to know whether they should share their opinion or not, and then with that ways, people kind of gauge, okay, do I say it? Okay, maybe I say what that person said. And if you don't agree, sometimes just shut up. If you've got nothing positive to say, just keep it moving. Social media is killing us, you know.
Absolutely.
I think talent, talent, like Tyler has said, social media has given a lot of people the voice, you know, to speak. Things that they would not normally say to your face. Because they're doing it behind their phone, they're in their room, they feel they can say anything. The personality, there's nothing wrong. What's wrong in her paying tribute to the broadcaster?
Somebody that inspired you.
What's the big deal? Is she the only one that's paid tribute?
No.
What's the issue here? But again, because somebody has their phone, they can just type and say anything. And again, a lot of fans forget that these are people. Yes, they might be celebrities, but they're people. They have feelings too. I'm going to drag us off track for a second. The Nigerian comedian, Instagram comedian, Arole, Arole, took a screenshot of, he posted his engagement picture during the week. And a fan went and commented, your skits are no longer funny though, but congratulations on the engagement. Wow. What has that got to do with his engagement picture? So he took a screenshot of that comment and did a separate post for it and then wrote a whole long caption saying that, you know, fans sometimes don't know the lines of engagement. Somebody is announcing his engagement and you are coming here to first comment that his videos are no longer funny, but congratulations on your engagement. That's terrible. You know, he's a human being. And then he went on to say, like, you know, even creating the content, yes, it looks funny, it's 10 seconds. It takes days to come up with concepts. It takes editing, you know, checking it again and again. Is it funny? Is it not? Before the content actually comes out. And then because you are behind your phone, you can just cross your leg and say, it's not funny. You are terrible at what you are doing. Go and find another job, you know. So same thing with Minnie here. She's just paid tribute. And people are dragging her.
They jumped onto her.
What did she do wrong? So do we want her to keep... We are the same people that
would have
if she didn't say anything...
If she didn't say anything about it.
You didn't show respect. Yes. You don't have human decency. You are posting picture of glam and slay. You know, so...
I think our people back home, our brothers and sisters, I feel... Especially in this lockdown, I've had so much time and I infiltrated with a lot of negativity. I don't know how we can fix it, but I see it a lot. So even in my country, when you post something, they love a negative post. Even here, even a Shea Barra and things like that, people love a negative post. If something positive, you see it's about 600 comments. When it gets to negativity,
15,000 comments.
Do you know what I mean? People love negativity, and it's really easy to look at something positive and try to turn it negative just for the sake of when people see my comment, they're going to agree with me and it will be fact. And we feel like when it's the most liked comment, it's fact. It's not. No. Somebody had just commented, a lot of people have seen it. People might have agreed or laughed at it and found it funny. But somebody out there's reading it and thinking, that's harsh.
That's harsh. Absolutely. Well, we need to take a moment before we tweet, comment, share stuff, and just think about other people and if this message really should be put out. Now, to wrap up, this is a segment where we talk about anything that probably has caught your eye in the last couple of weeks that you'd like to maybe share with our listeners or viewers to go and check out. Could be a movie, a song, a project, a fashion statement, food, whatever it is that you think is worthy of our listeners and viewers checking out that they can definitely benefit from. Damola, what's caught your eye?
I think I will start with the chosen world artist Ruga. On this week I took time to listen to his debut EP, Pandemic, which is really, really good. I think you should go and check that out. Ruga is signed to the same label as Rema. So you can expect the quality of music coming out from that stable to be the same here. Also, I think Tanya also now released her debut album Wonderland. And the rollout I found very interesting because she had like a whole 3D experience. It's on YouTube, by the way, so you can go and check it. It's like a theme park, similar to I'll say inspired by Travis Scott's.
Yes.
I forgot the name of Travis Scott's album, but essentially she did a whole 3D experience and, you know, some nice visuals for it on YouTube. So yeah, go check that out.
Thailand, anything from maybe even Zimbabwe that you'd like for us
from
to
when
check?
you said that, as soon as you said that, I said, I'm about to plug my country. Hello.
Please.
So I'm going to say there's an artist called Poptain, Poptain, an absolutely amazing artist who I discovered last year.
Nice.
Just bumped into a song and I thought, wow, this is amazing. And then I just now went into this like YouTube, just looking for videos and all that. He's recently kind of blossomed and people loving him. They love him in Zimbabwe, but his lyrical content is absolutely amazing. And then he's got records that you can dance to, and he's just so talented and versatile. It's amazing. I'm pretty sure there will be like a few tunes that you like. So Poptain, Spotify, I'm sure he's on all the platforms and whatnot. Just check him out.
Definitely will be checking that out. I love Zimbabwean music and some of the superstars out there. So I know King 98, I know Ja Praiser, I know a couple of, and I'll be checking this one out. So, well, that brings us to the end of this week's episode of Adesope Live, the official Afrobeats podcast. And as always, you can find us on every single platform. Make sure you continue to share, like, subscribe, comment. We appreciate that. And a massive shout outs to my guests in the studio, Damola and Talent. Thank you very much for coming through. And a huge shout outs to everybody behind the scenes. That's Kola, Afri Media, Shayi, LM Media, Ayo Maurice, and of course, Shoobs.com, including Yanga TV. Until next time, from me to you, it is peace, and we're out.
Bang. Bang. Bang.